war without end requires a soldier without end.
Great! We're in position! Move out!
I once believed it.
Take his arms.
Enemy readies our defeat.
What is up, you sexy bitches? Welcome to the gaming news for the day with me, your host. We will be covering all the news that may not have made it into your feeds or streams. Please remember to like the video if you find any informative value, and do not forget to subscribe if you do not want to miss out on any new content. Okay, so kicking things off, Ready at Dawn, the makers of the Order 1886, is now part of Facebook, where the studio will work on virtual reality games for the Oculus VR platform, the social media company announced today. As part of the Oculus Studios team, Ready at Dawn will continue creating, they say, memorable, immersive, innovative VR content for gamers around the world, and as an independently operated studio, which is just PR speak. According to Facebook, Ready at Dawn will continue operating out of its Irvine, California and Portland, Oregon offices, where it will continue working on Lone Echo 2, a follow-up to 2017's Lone Echo about exploring a space station in zero gravity, due out later this year. Before Lone Echo, Ready at Dawn was best known for 2015's The Order 1886, one of the earlier PS4 exclusives in the console's lifespan, a cinematic game about hunting werewolves and vampires in an alternate history steampunk London. Though Lone Echo 2 was originally expected to come out earlier this year, Ready at Dawn announced last April its development had been impacted by new work from home requirements associated with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, and the studio still plans for the game to come out to Oculus Rift sometime in 2020.
Crash Bandicoot, you banished me to the past. But all it did was give me more time to plan your doom.
Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time is coming, and it's bringing the 32-bit era mascot back to PS4 and Xbox One this year. Crash Bandicoot has been missing in action for years at this point, with remastered versions of the original games and racing spin-offs keeping fans occupied. However, the time to wait is almost up. The famous mascot is back this year with a completely new adventure that Activision is calling a, quote, true sequel. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time is a follow-up to the original PlayStation trilogy, and it's being designed by a group of long-time fans. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time has a release date of October 2nd, 2020. Crash 4 uses the same basic platforming gameplay of the original titles, but with advanced and modern twists such as wall running and grinding rails to make it through tougher areas. The art style has been overhauled for the latest systems, and you'll be able to play as Neo Cortex alongside Crash and Coco. Set at the very end of Crash Bandicoot Warped, the new game sees Neo Cortex, Dr. Entropy and Uka Uka finally escape from the remote plant and return for another attempt at multiverse domination. Of course, you stand in their way, and you'll have access to 4 special quantum masks to bend the rules of reality itself and make it through difficult areas. These include the time mask, which slows down time, and the gravity mask, which lets you platform upside down. The first patch for Command & Conquer Remastered Collection has been released, and it makes hard mode a little bit easier and adds private lobbies. Petroglyph have found a few places to improve the revitalized classic RTS, and have released the first round of bug fixes and additions. They've eased up a little bit on hard mode and have added private game lobbies among other fixes. The first major patch adds more convenience, private lobbies. In their update post, Petroglyph say the hosts will be able to set a passcode for private lobbies. Inviting friends directly to the game will bypass the need to enter it though. Hosts have other moderator-like abilities, such as muting another player in the session. Petroglyph says they've also adjusted the difficulty balance in hard mode for Tiberian Dawn. They've effectively split the difference between normal mode and the launch version hard mode, they say. If you happen to already beat missions on hard mode or somehow received the achievement, then wear that with a badge of honor. Even before this first update, Command & Conquer Remastered struck the right balance between modern convenience and classic authenticity. Rather than feeling inauthentic, Epic Games have released all cop cars from their game Fortnite. Players have noticed that Epic have removed all the police cars from the game, including creative mode maps. Epic haven't made an official statement on the subject, but it would seem likely that the removal is related to the global protests against police brutality. Epic Games have teased that players will soon be able to actually drive vehicles around the map. The trucks, cars, ice cream vans that were once immovable material around the map will soon be operable. That feature hasn't made it to the game yet, however, but it has been preceded by this removal of all cop cars, which have been replaced with standard, just normal cars. Players say that there is speculation that Epic don't want players to be able to drive around in cop cars and kill each other once the vehicles become operable later in the season. This seems fairly likely to be the reason, especially in multiplayer modes where, you know, could lead to tasteless bad jokes, people driving around and shooting each other from cop cars, especially in light of the recent sort of attention that's been brought to the issue in America. So that's probably why Epic have done it. We see recently with Rockstar blocking KKK griefers in Red Dead Online that sometimes the quickest solution to cutting down on racially motivated griefing is to take away the tools. The original creators of Diablo 2 have shared thoughts on rumored Diablo 2 remaster. Max Schaefer and Matt Ullman, two of the developers responsible for legendary action RPG Diablo 2, have given their thoughts on the rumored Diablo 2 remaster, which is reportedly coming later this year. Rumors of a Diablo 2 remaster have been circulating for some time, but earlier this year those rumors came into sharper focus with sources suggesting that it would be called Diablo 2 Resurrected. When asked what they would and would not want to see from the potential remaster, Schaefer said, "First of all, I think it's probably impossible to really capture it. It wasn't even a true 3D game. Everything was rendered sprites, and so to really capture the exact feel of what happens when you click in a 3D environment is going to be challenging at best. The development team on the remaster is going to have to spend a lot of their time on capturing that feeling, not just on recreating maybe slightly higher fidelity graphics and all that. That's the easy part. It's easy to go back and kind of one-to-one make the game look better. It's going to be the feel and the atmosphere that are kind of inherent in the technology that was behind it, which was, at this point we can look back and say it's kind of spaghetti code. It was built using a custom engine. It was stuff that hadn't been done before. I would assume that a remaster is going to be done using an established graphics engine with its own conventions and its own quirks. And so much of what made Diablo 2 special was the feel and the intangible, so it's a daunting task. The ideal remaster would be something that actually retains the feel and the atmosphere, that has a modern take on the graphics. Honestly, I hope they pull it off. I'm glad they're doing it, and I don't have to." Ullman, Diablo's original composer, also gave his perspective on the potential remaster. "My only strong opinion is that it needs to have more violence, more gore, more nakedness. Long as they do that, then they'll be true to the series in terms of what we were going for as artists." Schaefer then added, "Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. The game was made to be shocking and push boundaries, and when you have an opportunity to remake it with modern graphics, you're going to be confronted very quickly with how much you are really going to want to reproduce something that was down to a few pixels in the original version and not succumb to the temptation to make a censored version. We're talking about modern Blizzard right now, and they have shareholders and things like that that we didn't have to worry about back in the day." Schaefer laughed before continuing, "I'm curious as to what their approach is going to be. This is very interesting. It's obviously a beloved game, and I really hope that Diablo 2 isn't dumbed down like Diablo 3 was." Bounty of Blood, the third DLC for Borderlands 3, is releasing today. It's a revenge-filled Western plot, and players will be making some story decisions, riding jet beast vehicles, meeting new characters including Rose and Juno. Bounty of Blood also adds new weapons including a murderous soap bubble blaster and beast riding adversaries. Bounty of Blood also adds new mechanics including environmental weapons and hazards including the Tailorweed, Telezapper, Core Exploder and Breezer. The Batman Arkham studio Rocksteady is developing a Suicide Squad game. According to a recent report, sources say that Rocksteady's next project is based on the comic book franchise Suicide Squad. It's been 5 years since Rocksteady's Batman Arkham Knight emerged, and the studio's long silence led fans speculate about what its next project might look like. It now looks like it's going to be a Suicide Squad game, and the domain, and also the domain name Gotham Knights game is listed, which is reportedly a reference to a new Batman game under development at Warner Bros. Montreal. That studio is best known for creating Batman Arkham Origins back in 2013. And additional details about both of these projects may be revealed at Warner Bros. DC Fandom event in August. From what the report suggests, Gotham Knights is further along in development. Both of these projects are in development for next-gen consoles. And I think all of us are probably going to look forward to what's going to come out of those studios. Skate 4 was spoken about by Andrew Wilson, who talked about how enthusiastic people were for a new skate game. And he mentioned some features the game might contain. He said that while skateboarding in and of itself has tremendous appeal to a huge global audience, Skate will also tap into, quote, a trend that's happening inside our industry around user-generated content, open world and interaction, end quote. Reflecting on skateboarding culture and how much art and fashion tie into it, Wilson said that while skating itself is a starting point, there's more to it than that. You start to build in user-generated content, exploration and community on top of that, and it expands the opportunity exponentially. Skate 3 allowed you to build your own skate park, but it sounds like Skate 4 might encourage customization beyond just how and where you skate. It remains to be seen what form this could take in the final game, though. This is really cool. The entire first Rayman game has been remade and then some. The first Rayman was released back in 1995, that's old as hell, and without a modern way to enjoy the original, a fan has decided not just to recreate the classic but to add loads of new stuff to it as well. The result is Rayman Redemption, which is available now for free on Game Jolt. The Rayman Redemption is a reimagination of the original Rayman game from 1995 that features a lot of new content, including new worlds, levels, mini-games and stuff to collect and complete. It looks great, and also for people who were scarred by how hard the game was, there's a new, easier difficulty to pick if you just want to reacquaint yourself with the game's levels and not its trauma. So that's all, folks, and please remember to like and subscribe if you found any informative content, and stay safe out there. Peace.
Go, move it out! Drop it there, fellas. Frank, check the breaker.
Looks like you got my invitation. Just you and me. Come on!
Not so fast, Deathstroke. He's my kill.
Find a body?
No. And next time, keep your other assassins out of my way.
You had your shot, Deathstroke. But you're not the only assassin in town. And the night is young.